The other thing that a lot of people want to know is how to know if you're in ketosis. After you've lived this kind of lifestyle for a while, you can pretty well know because you feel so good when you're in ketosis. I do. The brain works more quickly and I'm more sharp. I can think of things. My memory is better. This is not just me, it's common. Everyone that's in ketosis, brain works better and energy level is better and just feel better, happier, enjoy life more. The body is working on its greatest, most efficient fuel source, fat. So the excess fat on the body comes off and you feel better from a mental, emotional, social, physical, spiritual standpoint. It all gets better. So I highly recommend you at least try it. As you're living this lifestyle and you're this fat burning machine, how can you know other than going on the way you feel and the way that your body and your brain work for you? So I like the Keto Mojo, which I have a video on that, but it's a finger stick. It's like a glucometer. Actually, it does measure glucose like a finger stick glucometer, like a lot of diabetics will use to find out what their blood sugar is, just in an intermittent basis. Of course, there's the continuous glucose monitor you can wear for 14 days, like we've talked about. But if you want to just check your blood sugar from time to time, you use the little device that you buy at the pharmacy or the grocery store called a glucometer. And you stick your finger, put a drop of blood in there, and it gives you your glucose reading. Well, Keto Mojo has one that does the ketone level, it does glucose level, and then it gives you something called a glucose ketone index, which has some benefit as well. We can talk about later. But for ketosis, you want to be able to lose weight at a Keto Mojo ketone level of 0.5 or higher. Most people begin to lose weight at 0.4 or 0.5 millimoles per liter. But then I really feel my best when I'm above 1 and 1.5 and even higher. And it's extremely safe for your ketone level to go up as high as 5, 7, even 8 on a Keto Mojo. It's when you start to get into 10 that it's too high. That's more of a dangerous situation. I've never had a patient, and I haven't, and I honestly don't know of anyone that has gotten that high from just leading a ketogenic lifestyle, what we're calling here the therapeutic nutritional ketosis lifestyle. But it's possible because you can be out there and have diabetes and not even know it. And so I recommend that you start the ketogenic lifestyle very cautiously at first. Lab work at the baseline is really helpful and the safest way to do it. And if you can get a body composition, even better, meaning a scale at home or go to one of these scales at some of the gyms or at some doctor's offices that will give you not just the weight in pounds or kilograms, but will also tell you how much fat and how much muscle or lean tissue is on the body, and then how much water. So you want to know water, lean mass, and fat mass in order to understand, are you building muscle or are you losing muscle, whatever lifestyle you live. But certainly if you get on the ketogenic diet, you want to see that lean mass go up, your muscle mass go up, and the fat mass go down. And it definitely happens. And it happens the easiest on the ketogenic lifestyle, easier than any other nutritional plan that I've found. So as I said, we shift our energy source from carbohydrates and glucose and any form of sugar to fat burning, and you feel great on it. When you start the ketogenic lifestyle, you may have some hiccups. So it's great to go through our beginner's guide or the fast start guide and be a part of this community or a community to help support you through the onboarding process, I guess, or the transition from the traditional high carb, heavily processed way of life to the protein fat burning life, if you will. You're going to love it. I recommend that you at least start with an open mind, set yourself up for success by following everything we talk about in our group and in our programs and being a part of the community and active in the community, because the others that support you, not just me, but the other members of the group will also help you through any difficulties you find, or they will help you understand how they struggled in a certain area and what got them through. one of the things I will share, for example, is some people can have, let's say, a donut, and that's all they want. Or they can have a few bites of a Danish or something, or a dessert or ice cream, and they're fine. Others, such as myself, if I start down the path of carbohydrates, that dopamine and hormones surge, all of the feel-good hormones that act quickly, such as dopamine, that goes off, and I don't want to quit. Like, I just keep eating once I start with a donut or anything that has very many carbs in it at all, that has a sweet taste to it. So anyway, we talk about strategies about how to avoid going down that path. But if you have to, like, I was recently at a conference and there were sandwiches and desserts and even like nut bars that had high carb content in them. There was dried fruit, there was fruit. There were all the things that I didn't eat except for a little thin piece of deli meat inside the sandwich, for example. So if you're in that situation like I was, I ate the sacks of raw nuts with dried fruit. I would have been better off if I'd left the dried fruit off, but I ate that too. And then that just got the stimulus going. I wanted carbohydrates, then I wanted the bread on the sandwich, and I wanted the desserts, and I ate it. So it's if you're like me and you have that tendency to love to snack and love to snack on sweet stuff, there's hope for you because I reeled it back in and got back in line. But if you're not aware of that, and in most situations, I put like guardrails on my life of what I will and I won't allow, and how much of it I will and I won't allow, especially around the holidays and parties and things like that. But anyway, that's just an example of, I've learned a lot of these strategies of how to reel it back in or how to avoid it altogether in the first place, and snacks to take and things like that from being in groups like this. So anyway, thanks for listening to me today. I just wanted to share those benefits of the ketogenic lifestyle, encourage you to try it. I would recommend that you decide to do it for 90 days. Just decide you're going to do it for 90 days. Because if you try it for a week or 2 weeks, even a month, I don't even think 6 weeks is long enough, because you just begin to feel better and better and better the more that you consistently stay in that ketogenic range of at least 0.5 up to 5 or 6 or 7. You feel great, and you don't want that the way that you feel to end. And so at that point, you feel so bad, you're even more sensitive to carbohydrates or to anything with a food additive or a food preservative or a toxin in it, that if you do get some of that in your system, you're like, oh, I have to go back to eating so clean. I want my protein, I want my fats again, so that I can feel good again. Anyway, you get the understanding of what it can do for your daily life and for your health if you commit to it for 90 days. At least that's my recommendation. And at the end of that, you can assess. But I feel like very few people, I can't think of anyone that's been in my practice that after a 90-day of it, their skin is better, their hair is better, their energy is better, their performance at work, at home, sexual performance, the way their body looks and feels, everything is better. And that's because you're giving your body what it really needs. And your body doesn't make mistakes. It's just responding to what you breathe and eat and drink and think, and how you live on a daily basis. Your body is simply trying to save your life and make your health better. But a lot of times we're sending it the wrong messages by eating junk or thinking terrible thoughts, or drinking terrible things such as sodas and stuff that is high in carbohydrate or full of toxins. Anyway, I will talk to you again soon. I wanted to give you that little video on the benefits, how to get into ketosis, and encourage you to decide to start, and start by listening first and foremost to our How to Get Started Fast Action Guide for those of you that are new to ketosis or to the ketogenic diet or to the ketogenic lifestyle or to therapeutic nutritional ketosis, whatever you call it. We're not talking about eating junk food that doesn't have any carbs because it's still terrible for our body. We're talking about actually giving your body what it needs. And then you decide after 90 days and during the 90 days how you feel, and you'll see the difference. I promise you, you will. This is Dr. Gina saying goodbye, and thank you for listening.